Ganofsky. My lovely wife is right next to me here, and maybe she'll bring her face on to say hello to her. There she is, my co-pilot. Good to have Cowboy Jeff McFatridge on here with us. In my opinion, he'll deny it, but he's a much bigger star than I am on this. I'm just the facilitator, narrator, administrator. But having said that, I want to jump right in. I want to honor your time. Basically, guys, in a nutshell, here's my story, and then we'll jump into the presentation, do some Q&A, and hopefully be done here like in 30 minutes or less. That's my goal. So my name's Todd Ganofsky. I said my wife, Jody, we're from Kansas City. We've been involved in a lot of safe money ventures, some infinite banking strategies, different things along those lines that have been great. We supplemented a lot of that with DeFi, these opportunities that exploded where you could, get crazy amounts of money back real fast. And I know Jeff's had some experience with that. We've had some experience with that. And I call it the financial hokey pokey. Put your right foot in, right foot out, and try to get out, get your money out and play with house money before a shark bites your leg off and you lose your investment. But it's great. It's fun. However, a lot of people were getting hurt in that. We were making money and mostly winning, but we were looking for something stable. So about a month ago, I had a friend who I do a lot of business with. Tell me about another metals company out there. And it's going to come up. So I'm just going to mention the name of that company. And I'm not going to throw dirt on that company, but the company was 7K Metals. And he told me about 7K about a month ago. And it took us about a month to really dial into saying yes and getting on board. Honestly, for me, it felt like with the DeFi stuff, we were on the Autobahn in a Porsche going 160 miles an hour, and the silver and gold, it felt like I was having to drive 55 and, get back in a Buick or something, so it just didn't feel exciting to me. However, we were looking for something solid, something stable, something we could build over the long haul. They had some pretty good ratings, so we jumped in with them. My story, again, without throwing dirt on anybody, is that I'm a pretty good salesperson, and I tried for about 2 days to communicate the value of 7K. And for whatever reason, I didn't know that much about them or their history, but I felt like I was rowing a rowboat up the Niagara River. I mean, I could not get traction or momentum. So we had a depressed salesman over here. So my wife and I had actually had a meeting set up with a leader to go over the comp plan. I never cancel meetings. I canceled the meeting. Said, I'm sorry, I'm just not ready to go for this yet. We went out and got a coffee, came back, and we decided to call, again, Cowboy will know Dr. Georgia Balsley and her friend Cowboy, who I had not met, Jeff McFatridge. So we get on the phone with them, and Dr. Georgia had a role in helping my wife down the path of becoming a naturopathic doctor. So there was some history there, some relationship. But again, I ignored their initial call because I was already loyal to my friend, and we had this quote unquote established business. I didn't want to be distracted. So we get on a Zoom call with Cowboy and Dr. Georgia, and within 3 minutes, I mute myself, and I say to my wife right here at this very table I'm sitting at, I said, this guy is a stud. I'm talking about in the business world, like he's sharp. I said, he is a sharp dude. So Cowboy, I know I'm making you blush over there. It's not my intention to blow too much sunshine at you, but you said some things on that phone call that were game changers for me. I wanted to know, again, the key word for me, guys, in any business is momentum. If you don't have momentum in something, you've got to have a good product. I mean, I can go out in the middle of the desert and yell water, and I'll have 1,000 people showing up, and I better have water when they show up. I mean, it's one thing to, trumpet something. It's another thing to provide the value and the quality of what you're trumpeting. But what happened is I wanted to make sure that at cost, what I was hearing from Cowboy and Dr. Georgia was legit. They were saying some things that radically got my attention and my wife's attention. And we wanted to make sure they could pull it off. So Cowboy began to tell us the story of his connection with Justin, aka JD, the founder of At Cost Metals, and why Cowboy believed that Justin was going to pull this off. And I'm going to let Cowboy in a few minutes tell his story of why he believes at cost metals is going to dominate this market, that they're doing something that is unprecedented, that Justin actually was one of the architects behind that other company. That helped me to know that this man had done this before. This is not, no pun intended, cowboy. It's not his first rodeo. I know you're laughing over there, muted, but this is not his first rodeo. And so I want to let you tell that story in a few minutes. Before I, get the hype going here, let's get some substance on the sandwich, and then I'll let you put the other piece of bread on it for us and tell us again some Q&A with you, and you can tell us about some of the things that have you super excited about that. Does that sound okay to you?
Sounds great, brother. Thank you.
Great. All right. I'm going to dive in here. I'm going to move quickly and be ready. I'm going to bounce the ball to you on a couple of these. So let me screen share and pull this up. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay, guys, listen, got to get through you can't have all sizzle and no substance. So I'm going to give you as much substance as we can for this sandwich here, and then you can decide if this opportunity is for you as either a straight up buyer. Listen, if you're here and you're not interested in building anything, you don't have to. That's one of the cool things. We'll get into that in just a second. We've got people that are actually purchasing. One of my dear friends, I'll just say it on the front end, who's came in as a buyer, not interested in being a builder. And I'll just bait the hook by telling you this. I called him on the day he was about to buy 20,000 in silver. He talked with Cowboy and JD. He ended up buying 28,000. He got 2 boxes of silver round coins for the best price, a better price than anything he could find. And he saved $5,000 in value over the other company that I'm not trying to throw them under the bus, but that it is what it is. They're well known. He saved $5,000. He got $5,000 more value in coins for being a part of At Cost Metals. So he's expecting his coins this week. Some of you are asking. They should be here in a day or two. So requirements for a successful company, guys, we just talked about it. Perfect timing, momentum, perfect product. You got to have the product. You got to have a business model that pays people or that makes it worth their time, even if they're just going to refer people. Statements from the experts, and these are older statements, but they are
Warning in progress.
very relevant.
Sometimes it does.
Got some background. See if I can mute everybody. Everybody just go ahead and hit your mute button if you can. Yes, I call on you. Thank you very much. Statements from the experts. Inflation is a very simple concept to understand. More money equals less value. You get that. Keep printing money. It's not as valuable. It may seem contradictory, but it's very straightforward. Dr. Ron Paul. Robert Kiyosaki, massive on silver, even more now than he was years ago. Silver may be the best possible way to build wealth. Best-selling author, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and a few other big books out there. These quotes are at least 20 years old and probably more true now than ever before. Why is this timely? Global uncertainty all but dictate the necessity of stable store of value. Inflation is winning. For us, it's losing. It's real and it's bad. Globally, housing, grocery prices, all those things are not sustainable. Central banks are all printing money at unprecedented rates. Paper currency is going digital. Lasting effects of COVID, supply chains, and inflation, all these things are still handcuffing the global markets. Guys, I know these aren't opinions, they're facts. And I know all of you know this. You probably wouldn't be here if you didn't. Again, why precious metal? Holding a real tangible value. It's time tested. It's a hedge against inflation. It's easily explainable. Even children understand the value of it. Many people call it God's money. It's relatively stable during uncertain times. Our business model, we have developed relationships with the largest market makers in bullion and numismatic coins and own all of our own networking software. That's huge. We'll get to that in a minute. Selling precious metal bullion at cost to customers. More about the company. Brand new company, but as I mentioned, this is not their first rodeo. Extremely seasoned ownership and management. They're offering true, legitimate at-cost pricing on precious metals. I want to say this. If I had a T-shirt on, it would say belief, #belief in all capitals, because I'm a firsthand witness to my friend who was about to buy silver, who got on the phone with these guys and got $5,000 more in value because of our at cost pricing. Legitimate. This is not buyer direct. This is legit. I'll let Cowboy expound upon that in just a few minutes. Our metal products, we offer the same coins and bars for less. U.S. mint coins, Eagles, Buffaloes, Morgan and Peace, Canadian coins, Maples, Grizzlies, Timberwolves, South African coins, Krugerrand, graded certified flawless numismatic coins, MS70, PR70, old and new, generic bars and coins, Engelhard, Johnson, and Matthey, etc. How does our pricing compare? What's the big deal? Well, again, dealer direct versus at cost. It's all in the lingo. If you buy from a dealer, you are buying dealer direct. That literally has no bearing on price. Rather, it refers to who sold it. At cost literally means that the price that the dealer pays is the same price the customers pay. So just, take a note of that right there. Look at the various websites out there. It is plain as day. This is a concurrent real-time price comparison of the price of a single silver eagle, most commonly traded coin in the world. Our company cost would be $26.48. A similar company, $29.90. Another similar company, $31.54. A big online company, $31. Another big online company, $31. Hey, for one coin, guys, it's not that big of a deal. But when you're talking about thousands of coins, it's a real big deal. So again, what does that mean by a percentage? Our company, $26.48. Company A is paying 12.41% more. The next one, 18.57%. Company A, big online company, 16.5%, almost 17%. And company B, 17%. If you are buying the exact same thing, why in the world would you start out paying 12 to 18% more? That's the question. Why in the world would you be with a company that's jacking those prices up when you can go down to the corner store and get it for cheaper? Now, of course, we're going to beat the corner store. But my point is that you will not beat the at-cost metals pricing, period. End of story. That's my belief of why we're going to blow it out of the water and dominate in this area. The vault, again, I'm going to have Cowboy tell us you're going to like what he has to say better than me because he knows a lot more than I do about this. But one of the most powerful features of at-cost metals is the ability of customers to buy precious metals incrementally. You can buy as little as $1, $5, or $20. The amount of metal you have purchased is tracked to 0.00001 of an ounce and displayed in your My Metals page. This means you can accumulate metal at your pace like it should be. All of the metal you purchase is yours. It's physically held in the vault, or you can have it shipped to you. Most of us will probably have that done, but you've got that option. If you sell, because I want that in hand, I know Cowboy feels the same way. If you sell it, your cash account increases by the sale amount. You can withdraw that amount or use it to purchase more metal. The choice is yours. Why vault it? Well, the most economical way to service our customers is with the highest ranked vault out there, highest rated vaulting company. They're multinational. They've proven to be at the highest level of security, safety, and service. We, because I'm involved in this now with at cost, they utilize multiple class 3 state-of-the-art vaults, the highest possible vault rating. Our vaulting facilities are highly secure. The facility is constructed with impenetrable walls, internal barriers. By the way, the silver is really in the vault. This isn't just a digital thing. So Cowboy made a point to let you know it's actually in there. So again, all locks require several methods of verification before somebody can enter. The vault processing has dual control procedures. Bottom line, guys, I'm just going to say, without going into all this, it's for real. This vault is legit. If you choose to vault it, it is going to be 100% safe. The cost of vaulting, I'm not going to get into all of that today, actually. I may have Cowboy address that if he wants. If all that makes sense, let's talk about the packages and the comp plan. Cowboy, at this point, I'm going to just pivot over to you because you get me excited and build my faith when you talk about how people are going to be blessed by helping other people get the best price silver, gold, and precious metals. So tell us how the comp plan works and how people can make money as a buyer or a builder in this.
Well, thanks again for having me on here, Todd. I love it when we tag team. It takes a lot of pressure off of me because I hate being on a Zoom call.
Well, you do. It's my pleasure to set the stage for you.
Yeah, my favorite thing about the comp plan is in the network industry, they said an average person can bring in 2.3 people, right? Over here, someone could come in and bring in 2 people, one left and one right, and that pay maxes out at $2,000 a week. That's $104,000 a year for telling 2 people. That I've never seen that before, so that's powerful. For networkers, I've never seen a comp plan compared to it. I want to make this real clear before I go into this conversation. I'm not an employee of the company. I'm not. The only thing I am is an affiliate, just like everybody else, right? And the owner, he said it multiple times. He's not trying to start a war with other companies out there. But when you're in the same business as other companies out there, somebody's going to get offended. What's funny is I've been on the phone with a bunch of 7K people in the last few days, and they're masters of deflection. You know what I mean? I'm going after them and telling them that we have a better deal for the same labor that they're doing, and they come back with stuff that doesn't have nothing to do with our compensation plan. And there's enough gold and silver on this planet for every single company out here to make money without throwing dirt. When you throw dirt, you lose ground, right? So I say we all just love each other and get along. I like it over here. People can come in and pay for the membership, and they don't have to do the monthly $75 coin a month. They don't. They can just come over here, and that $149 gets them a 1-year annual membership to where they can buy gold and silver at cost for the whole year. That membership also includes the storage in the vault for a year. So that's powerful. My favorite thing about the vault, and it is a real vault, there's multiple vaults around the world. Countries keep their gold in the same vaults. We have digital access to it. It's monitored 24/7. My favorite thing about the vault is this. If you've got a single parent, mom or dad, and they know how valuable silver is and how important it is to get it in their portfolio, the vault allows them they can put $10 a week in gold or $10 a week in silver, and they can do that every single week. So the vault allows to buy in smaller increments, and they can let it store up, and when they decide to, they can have it shipped directly to their house. So I would like to go up against anybody with this compensation plan. 6 people left and 6 people right, and you help 2 people get the silver, which is 3 on each side. The binary maxes out at $30,000 a week. That's $1.5 million a year. That's a lot of money to anybody.
Yes, it is.
And that's just the binary pay. Because remember, we're getting a 10% check match on every person we bring in. So my goal is to bring in 100 people personally. And then my job is to help all 100 of those get to gold. And if every single person in here does that, we'll all be happy in a year.
Absolutely. And so, Cowboy, just jumping in, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
Again, those of you that we're not going to spend too much time on this, but those of you that are familiar with the binary, that means, buy means 2 legs. You have 2 legs. One is going to be a power leg. And again, Jody and I'll speak for ourselves. We are building hard with all of our leaders down that power leg so that basically one side of our people's business, and I know Cowboy's doing the same thing, will be built for them. Now, you'll still have to bring one person over on the left, one person over on the right. What Cowboy just said is that one active person left and one active person right. That doesn't mean you're going to be making $2,000 a week. What it means is you literally could make $8,000 a month just by only having 2 people. So, if you bring this is one of those deals, you bring the right person in the right place, and everybody has a handful, 5 or 10 networkers, people that are into this type of business, and you get the right person in this and they take off, you can make a lot of money. Now, again, getting 3 left and 3 right or 6 left and 6 right, you're going to max out the comp plan. I will tell you this. I have talked to two people, and I will not mention anybody's names, but they're both people that have been extremely successful in MLM type businesses. Both of them said, I can't do this. I'll look at this, but I can't do it because both of them came out of their shoes when they saw the comp plan. So I'm not going to tell you what they're doing. I'll just tell you, they really liked it. One of them was researching it for another friend of mine, and he's a veteran. Matter of fact, he led one of the first network marketing companies I got involved in 1990. But they're looking at this comp plan and they're like, this thing can crush it. And again, the key is having momentum on something, which this thing is exploding with momentum, and having a product that nobody can beat. Guys, that's it. You can have all the momentum in the world, but if you can't get to the end game, you've got a bunch of hype. Okay. As Cowboy said, I could go out. I'm a recruiter by nature. I'd rather tell somebody about an opportunity than follow up with them. That's just me. I'm a trumpet. I like to get out there and go, hey, you need to know about this. But I also realize that for Jody and I to succeed, we absolutely have to help our people succeed. I could go recruit. I'd rather recruit 10 people and really dial in and help them, or 5 people or 6 people and really help them build their business than go out and tell 50 people. Although, trust me, I've told 50 people. We've actually been able to enroll, Jody and I have been able to enroll, 30 people in the last 7 days. And we probably have 7, 8, 9 people waiting that just have not taken action on this yet. But we don't want a bunch of hype and momentum without substance. You don't want sizzle without substance. But again, you got to have a little bit of sizzle as well. So as Cowboy was saying, you get one person left, one person right. A lot can happen in your business. My desire would be to get everybody to $3,000 to $5,000 a month minimum. But again, it really comes down to what you see. If you're out there and you need an opportunity, maybe you're just saying, I just want to buy metals at the best deal. This is your place. I will tell you this, you can refer this to people with the absolute belief that if they're into silver, gold, collectibles, precious metals, they're not going to beat the pricing here. And what's going to happen, Cowboy said it last week, a lot of people are going to come in at 149 just saying, I just want to be a buyer. And they're going to find themselves telling a whole lot of people about it, like my other 2 friends have done already. So Cowboy, again, tell me, why do you think, you kind of touched on it, Justin, his history, you're in regular contact with him. Why do you think this thing's going to explode and dominate?
So everybody write this down. This is probably one of the most valuable lessons I ever learned in my career. And it was from a guy who had personally, he had over a team of over 4 million people in his career. So I pay attention to when he talks. So if you're in any company, whether it be vitamins, shampoo, whatever, if the average everyday person is not willing to pay the price that you're asking for it, without the compensation plan attached to it, that company will never last. If they can get that product cheaper somewhere else, eventually they will.
Yes.
So that's why this company is going to be around it's going to be a legacy company. We have a product that every single people, whether they call it a pyramid network, they won't care. If they can buy gold and silver cheaper here, they will. So this company has longevity behind it. Now, something else, I've been buying gold and silver for the past 3 years. I thought I was getting a good deal. Now I got the best deal that I could. I searched the internet. I asked people, and I was buying it at this place. And now the at-cost metals is here. I realized that every time I was buying gold and silver, I was paying anywhere from 12 to 15% more than what it was worth. So when I walked out of the store with $9,000 worth of gold, I was 15% in the hole. Gold would have to go up in value 15% for me to break even. So over here, I can buy it literally at cost.
That's amazing.
And when I buy it, I'm good. So that's powerful.
It is absolutely powerful. I want to hit one more slide, Cowboy, just because I don't want to go too fast through this one. I'm going to bring it up here, and then I'm going to open it up for some Q&A, and then we'll land the plane here real quickly, not to take up too much of your time. So again, if you come in the affiliate plan, $149 is your metals package. That enabled my recent client to get $4,798 in extra silver. He paid $149 to get that deal. So I'll make that deal 7 days a week, twice on Sunday. And I know he's sharing this, not even as a builder, but as just saying, hey, I want all my friends to know the deal I just got. Out of the 149, somebody comes in and pays that. The person that brings them in gets $25 direct, and this works on a point system. And you'll get this in about 2 or 3 times, so don't let the points freak you out. Here's what you're looking for: 500 points in your left leg matching 500 points in your right leg equals a $500 paycheck. So let's just focus on that. So the $399, somebody comes in, they say, I want to be a builder. I've got vision for this. I can tell people all day. And folks, there are a lot of people out there. Let's just say real quickly, you may talk to some people that are not into silver, gold, and precious metals. I've talked to a bunch of them, but I'll say this: out of 10 people I've talked to, the 5 that are like, I'm not into that, I'm like, hey, God bless you. How can I pray for you? Have a nice day. I've got 5 other ones that are like, yeah, I'm into it. I believe in it. You don't have to sell anybody on this. They're either already sold looking for a better deal. You don't need to sell anybody. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time trying to sell anybody, for real. If they can't see this and this isn't their thing, they're not your people for this. So those that say, I see it, I can sell it, I want to build it, $399, they're in. That's $50 direct to you. 100 points goes into the binary. The coin of the month is an MS70 Silver Eagle coin. That coin is there's a commitment for $75 a month. For that coin, and that's 20 points in the binary. Binary team cycles. And Cowboy, feel free when I get through this just to bring color and clarity to what I'm saying, to help people see how big this can get. 500 points left, 500 points right. It sounds like a lot. It's not. All I can tell you is our group, well, we're going to get paid a lot more than our $399 out of the gate. That I'll leave it at that. My goal for every one of you, if you come in at $399, which you don't even pay that right now, is that you're getting a check for $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. So you're in the black already. Matching bonus, 10% match on personal referrals, team cycles for affiliates ranked at silver or gold. Again, that's where your goal is as quickly as possible to help. You don't have to keep calling people. You run out of people to call, but help your people call people. Help work through them. I like to call that second level. It's really kind of fun because now you're not having to call all your friends and family. You're helping them reach out to their friends and family. It's a lot more fun when you're the guy from out of town with the briefcase. So you're the expert all of a sudden because you know about that much more than the person you're helping. That being said, pot of gold bonus, 50% of the commission revenue from the top of the network is shared among all golds. That's huge. So at the very top of this, there's a bonus pool. Cowboy, make this sound better than I just made it sound, because you really feel like, getting the $30,000 a week, that's your goal. And getting somebody the $30,000 a month, I mean, you're convinced this is doable for a lot of people. Can you speak to that? And then we'll take some Q&A.
Yes, sir. I've never even heard of another company doing this. Normally they'll bring in, a polished networker and put him at the top, and then he'll start out building. But what they've done over here is they've taken that top position that every single one of us, everyone, is building. And all the commissions going to that spot, they're paying it out to all of us that put effort in enough to reach gold. And I mean, when we first launched, who knows, all that money might be divided against 2 or 3 golds or whatever. But whenever we hit gold, that's what it's going to hit. So the other 50%, which I think is smart, is that they're going to use that other 50% to put on events for us and to have contests. I mean, we'll have contests where people can win free gold and free silver. That's going to be huge. Something else I wanted to say, I was walking out of that gold store. I was buying $9,000 worth at a time. I was walking out at a 10 to 15% loss. If y'all turned on the TV lately, you've seen these TV commercials where people are actually moving their 401ks and their IRAs over to gold and silver. Well, guess what? Them companies they're going through, they're doing the same thing I was, but on a grander scale. So we're going to have vendors over here at Cost Metals to where they can transfer their 401k and IRA into physical gold, but they're going to be getting at a cost. So just think of the customers that we're going to attract, and every company needs customers. So when I talk to people, I don't care if they're networkers or if they're customers, because I believe once they get the gold in their hand or the silver in their hand, they're going to become networkers without even knowing it. They're going to call you and go, hey, Todd, I told my buddy about this silver and showed it to him, and he wants to buy some. How do I do that? And next thing you know, they're networking people.
Absolutely.
So to me, this is the perfect company.
Yeah, and yes, Cowboy, absolutely. And before we go to Q&A, you texted me like 30 minutes or 15 minutes ago saying people couldn't get in. Did we get those people in that were in the waiting room? Do you know? Jody, did we get, it says Cowboy.
I'm asking.
There should not be a waiting room. Just making sure.
Okay.
I feel real bad if we didn't let them in, but we'll get them the recording, and I didn't
No
see.
worries.
So Cowboy, awesome. And again, guys, look, when you're excited about something and they're not jacking the price up, so many things, like you hit it. So many people out there in these network marketing things, because of the opportunity, they're willing to pay, $5, $6 for a bar of soap. It may be a really good bar of soap, but people aren't going to pay $6 for it. So my point is that when you've got something that is really, really good and it's going to be good for people and you naturally share with them, it's not selling, it's telling, it's just sharing your story. Have fun with it. I'm seeing comments here. Very good. Thank you for that comment, Dr. Georgia. And I see the comment from Jim as well. What questions do we have out there that we can field real quickly here today? You're all muted. Just unmute yourself, or I can unmute you if I need to. We must have done a really good job, or people can't find their mute button. Oh, I see a question. The binary thing is confusing to me. Well, Brooke, whoever brought you to this meeting, I would go back to that person. I get it. If you've not done this before, it's trying to think of the best example to tell you, but whoever brought you in can take you in a deeper dive. It just basically keeps people from bringing in one super builder and then they're done and they never work the business. So the binary causes you to help other people while you build your business. And it's actually very, very cool how that works. It just keeps your business in balance. And it's a very traditional, what I would call MLM way of building. I do want to say, Cowboy, you may have mentioned this, and I may have been focused on technology, that these two legs, they don't flush. That concept of how some companies flush, this one doesn't flush. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, other companies, let me tackle the binary one real quick. This is how I had it explained to me. So picture you have two McDonald's restaurants, right? Your job is to keep you've got one making $100,000 a month in profits and the other one's making 50. So you're going to focus your attention on the one making 50 and try to get it to making 100, correct?
Yes.
So same exact thing. Now, these other companies out here, what they're doing is the 500 and the 500 over here in the binary. Let's say you had 1,100 or let's say you had 800 in one side and 500 in the other. They'll pay you the 500, but they take the 500 and the 800. So you start from scratch. Over here, if you had 800 and 500, they'd pay you the 500 and they would leave the 300 that you worked for anyway in that leg for you to use later.
Very good.
So it's basically the other companies, when they do that, are robbing you of effort that you and other people put in. Over here, they're not doing that.
Excellent. And again, I love the McDonald's analogy. Of course, my wife, being the naturopathic vegan, would probably, say the juice bar, whatever. Well, that being said, pick your restaurant, and you want them to both succeed. And again, if you don't understand that, it just takes a minute. Like within there's a comp plan video out there. Once you get it and that light bulb goes on, you'll never forget it. So, what other questions do we have out there? Looking.
Hey, Todd, can you hear me?
Yes, who is that?
Hey, this is Todd Engel.
It doesn't say Todd. Wait. Oh, there you are. Okay, there you are. It looked like iPad Pro was speaking to me. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you guys for each week presenting us with the information and letting us learn. I'm very, very excited about getting started.
Todd, you are such an encourager. Todd is a dear friend from Nashville, loves God with all of his heart, and he's a true watchman on the wall, praying for the saints. He's the real deal. I call him salt of the earth. Todd, it's an honor, truly an honor.
Bless you, Todd.
Team. Yeah, bless you, my friend. Excellent. Okay, thank you, Diane, for that. Very, very kind of you. And any other questions out there? Diane said, good job, Todd and Cowboy. So Cowboy, you did great. High five.
Todd, Cowboy, this is Mario with from Galveston, Texas. How y'all doing?
Hi, Mario.
Hey, Mario.
Very, very nice presentation, Todd. Very clear. You guys still got to work on that Zoom works there, but it'll come together. I tell people work, with the power of two. You help your two. You get your two, you help them two, and keep going left and right, and it'll work. Some programs, and I don't know if y'all are going to have it, but it'll sometimes tell you how much is going on each side, and then just level it off from there. But it's easy. Don't let it confuse you. Don't let it scare you. Once you get it, you'll roll with it, and it's very, very elementary. Thank you very much, guys. Okay.
Mario, appreciate you.
Thanks, Mario.
And I want to be clear before the next question. If you're here, and I know there's a few of you here that are going, I don't want to be a part of anything that has the MLM thing. Listen, it's 100% legal. They're doing everything by the book, by the law. This is legit. It's a legit business. Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump in their book recently, or about 10 years ago, said, Why We Want Americans to Be Rich. Kiyosaki came out with a statement that he said, internet-based multi-level will make more millionaires than any business model out there today. So just to let you know, that came from the mouth of the guy that said you should have a bunch of silver, and he understands money. So internet-based multi-level marketing, where you're giving a genuine product or service. Thank you, Diane, for affirming that. She said she read the book, and it is true. So I'm looking here. Any other comments? Any other questions?
We just need one of your recordings out, Todd. Just get it out and let's do it.
Appreciate that. We've got one from last week, and we'll get this one out as well. Just looking for any final questions, and then we'll wrap up here. I'm going to let Cowboy give his last word, then I'll give mine. Cowboy, bring us out with a bang here. Give us your final word on this.
Man, just don't procrastinate. I mean, this is the best opportunity I've ever seen. And your alternative to network marketing is a job. Nobody wants a job. You work until you're too old to enjoy life and then retire and live off of a third of what you weren't living off of already to begin with. And over here, you have people that are going to help teach you how to fire your boss. This is a great opportunity. Thanks, Todd, for having me. Mario, appreciate you jumping on. Carla, everybody, thank y'all.
I'm going to piggyback and closure off of your statement and say this. In my lifetime of doing any type of MLM, some of them I did just for the product. We've got some health products and things we just love. We're not interested in the business, although we do tell people about them. I will tell you this. I've had 3 that I've succeeded in out of about maybe 12 that I've swung the bat at. All 3 have had a contagious level of momentum, something behind it, a wind, whatever you call it, a divine spark from the Lord, something behind it. I have not had this kind of response on anything I've set my hand to in 20 years. That is an absolute fact. This thing is exploding. They have the substance to pull it off. I believe it's going to be an incredible ride. Cowboy, I'm so grateful that Dr. Georgia introduced us to you. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. We'll send it out to whoever needs it. God bless you all. And we should be back here next week. Jody, is that right? Next week? And Lord bless you and keep you and cause his face to shine upon you. Take care.
Thank you.